journey in talking about change, talking about equality, one thing that I think I want to reflect about this evening is about listening. So I'll begin with a small story. We were running a campaign against sexual harassment on the transportation system. And there was a room very much like this, full of young, eager faces. There were girls on this side, some eager boys who had braved the conversation and were there. And they were raising questions about, how girls are harassed on transport system, what can we do? Can the police have more patrolling? What should we all do? So the conversation was progressing, and these guys on this side were also sort of participating, saying, yeah, we are here with the girls, and there's my sister, my mother, all those conversations were happening. And then as it progressed, I sort of raised a question. I said, what about the violence that boys face? What about the harassment, peer-to-peer harassment that boys and men face? The energy in the room kind of shifted. This young girl stood up and she asked, we never speak about sexual abuse and harassment that men and boys face. In this day today, we are speaking about harassment that girls face. But what about the harassment that men and boys face? And that was something that changed everything in that room forever. You had boys talking and they were speaking up. They felt that they owned that space as much as girls did. Yeah, today we are talking about equality. We laid it out, yeah? We laid it out when we said both men and women should feel equal to make the world respectful, full of dignity, full of safety for everyone, not just for women. And that's what we are talking about. We are talking about the ability to have empathy. Yeah, that's the word, the big elephant in the room. Do we feel each other? Do we feel each other's pain? Yeah, boys are not just perpetrators. Girls are not just victims. Yeah, we want to own, we want to co-create this world and this space. So I have nothing special to say to the women. I have nothing special to say to the boys. But I have one thing to say. We need to listen to each other. And if we can do that, we can put aside our judgment. It will be amazing. And this little thing of being non-judgmental, being open, listening, if you can do that, it will open our hearts to many conversations that we don't otherwise listen to. And I have two people to thank for this in my life, my two children. They've come today to listen to TEDx because suddenly mom is so cool because she's on TEDx. But the fact that whenever they saw me being judgmental, as parents, we are always judgmental, we are comparing. And they kept telling me that don't judge us, don't compare us. It's so difficult as parents not to judge, not to compare. And that's the thing that really feeds me all the time. How can I keep questioning myself? It's not easy. It's not easy to be empathetic. It's not easy not to judge people. We do it all the time. And if there's a message I want to leave in this room today, it's that. These images that you see, and you may not be able to read the story, are a part of a journey, which is of my journey, is opening up the discussion and saying to myself, hey, someone who's worked on the issue of violence against women and girls for the last decade, that maybe the process today of how we get there to end violence, etc., is more important than the outcome. And, that little girl in the beginning said, let's talk about here and now and not about the future. I think it's a good reminder to all of us that process is so important. So recently, we ran a campaign called Stand With Me, Be My Safe Space. You can check it out on digital and social. And these are stories that people started sharing. They were just sharing their stories because we decided to listen. We decided to be non-judgmental. We decided to be open. And when you're all of that, it's very surprising. It's surprising. And I want to talk about this video.
अगर हम यहाँ पे नहीं कंबाइन क्लास लगा रहे हैं और अगर हम कहीं जॉब के लिए अप्लाई करते हैं तो हम वहाँ पर अगर वहाँ पर बॉयज़ हुए तो हम वहाँ पर बिल्कुल अपने आप को कंफर्टेबल फील नहीं कर पाएंगे।
मैं कंबाइन क्लास प्रेफर करूँगा ऑब्वियसली।
मैं तो यही चाहती हूँ कि कंबाइन क्लास लगे।
नहीं, सेपरेट क्लास बिल्कुल भी अच्छी नहीं है।
मुझे सेपरेट क्लास में अच्छा लगता है।
So this is out of a college in Panipat. They have segregated classes. Yeah, the boys and girls go to separate classes, and we wanted to find out whether they agreed. And as you can see, none of them wanted separate classes. And we asked the teachers, why do you, I mean, in effect, the college is co-ed, right? But they have separate classes. So we said, why do you do this? And then everybody started passing the buck. You know, is it the teachers? Is it the principal? And then the teacher said, you know, the parents want us to have separate classes. They will be so super comfortable if we host separate classes. So these are the conversations that were completely possible when we said we are going to think about the process and let young people speak. So we had conversations on transgendered violence, on transgendered communities. We had people talking about how when love goes sour, people break up online, and it's terrible. I didn't even know that, yeah? So you're living your life on social and digital, and when breakups go wrong, they go terribly wrong. So we started having all of these conversations. What was the outcome? We said that if we can speak, we can have conversations, we can have an open conversation, we can co-create safer spaces. It's not about women, it's not about men, it's about the we. And I think that was so critical. In our journey of listening, having conversations, and co-creating in the organization that I work for, Breakthrough, yeah, it's about breaking through silences, barriers, about the gender binaries, about the urban-rural binaries, about everything. We recently released a video, which was a feminist remix of A.R. Rahman's song that went completely viral. I'm not sure how many of you saw it, but if you didn't, I have a small clip of that video for you.
कोई तुम्हें मोटी बुलाए, it's all bullshit, उर्वशी। कपड़ों में है घर की इज्जत, it's all bullshit, उर्वशी। सेक्स के लिए शादी जरूरी, it's all bullshit, उर्वशी। दारू चाउमीन रेप का रीजन, it's all bullshit, उर्वशी, उर्वशी, उर्वशी। It's all bullshit, उर्वशी।
So this is an all-boys song that we wrote and remixed it and put out our thoughts at Breakthrough. And this received so much of fat shaming, slut shaming, and abuse. And at the end of the day, we said to ourselves, what's going on here? Yeah, the video went 3 million, we got a lot of support, but we got a lot of hate as well. So two things happened. We found the people who support us, who want to break the glass ceiling and say all of this is bullshit, but we also met the people who are pushing back. And they're pushing back with so much hatred, but we were willing to listen. And we're going to continue listening. And we're going to continue conversing. Because if you have so much hate in your heart, you really need help. And that's the message I want to leave. That if you are beginning with hate, you cannot go anywhere. In the world today, we have so much of hate, and we are not listening, we are not talking, we are not empathetic. So if I leave this room today and few of you go away thinking about this, about empathy, about being non-judgmental, in believing here and now, in the process now, and at the same time saying that hate is not going to get us anywhere, guys. And I can tell you that with at least a degree of confidence, even if I don't have confidence about anything else. So have a wonderful evening, celebrate the 8th, and make every day of the year 8th March, right? That's what we should leave the day with.